Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your curiosity, dig into the research, and, well, pull out the key insights, all shaped for you. Today, especially given your interest in how unique places build resilience and, keep their authentic feel, we're heading somewhere really special. Imagine a Danish island. It's in the Baltic Sea, feels like its own little world. History kind of whispers from old ruins, the nature is incredible, and there's this amazing creative vibe. It's known for the Danish thing, high age, of course, but also fantastic art and, maybe surprisingly, a really vibrant food scene. Okay, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. Our deep dive today focuses squarely on Bornholm, Denmark. It's fascinating how this, seemingly small island has managed to build such a strong, distinct identity. Our mission really is to understand how they've done it. That mix of tradition and forward-thinking innovation, its unique atmosphere, and how it's become this haven for artists, but also offers genuinely authentic experiences for visitors. We've drawn on quite a mix of sources, official tourist info, academic work on craft communities, and some really vivid personal travel accounts, so a pretty rounded picture.
Sounds great, and it really is a gem, isn't it? The landscape alone, it's quite something. They say it has bits of all Scandinavia's types of nature crammed onto one island. You've got the north with these dramatic cliffs, amazing from a boat trip, the MS Thor, or hiking near Hammer Lighthouse. Then head south and boom, you're on Dueodde beach. The sand is incredibly fine, almost pure white. Just stunning.
It really is a contrast.
And it's not just the look of it, the climate's a big deal too. Bornholm gets the most sunshine hours in all of Denmark. Plus, because the Baltic Sea is cold longer, its summers actually last equally longer than mainland Denmark, which is, great for visitors.
That extended season definitely helps.
Now let's talk hygge. We hear the word a lot, but in Denmark, it's deeper, right? More than just cozy. It's a feeling, a sense of contentment, maybe happiness, security.
Exactly. It's a feeling of coziness and happiness and security. That's a key part. It's so fundamental they've even applied to get hygge on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List.
Wow. So how does Bornholm specifically deliver that feeling? What's the Bornholm version of hygge?
That's a good way to put it. Because in Bornholm, it feels less like an abstract idea and more, woven into everything.
Yeah.
The nature, the pace of life. It's almost unavoidable. You can feel it in simple things like walking in the Echo Valley Ekodalen in Almindingen Forest. It's one of Denmark's largest forests. You can actually shout and test the echo. Maybe have a picnic there. It's that quiet enjoyment, simple pleasure. That's classic Bornholm hike.
Right, just being in nature.
Or say, grabbing an ice cream or coffee at Sandvigias Kailas. It's this place perched right on the cliffs, fantastic view over the harbor. It's about taking a moment, slowing down, enjoying a simple treat somewhere beautiful.
I can picture that.
Yeah, definitely a day at Dueodde Beach. Just walking on that sand, maybe swimming with family, friends. Visitors often mention that as peak hike.
Yeah.
It's interesting how these small things add up to that overall feeling visitors talk about, that tranquil, peaceful atmosphere that's highly valued.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and biking. You see bikes everywhere. Renting one from Boss Cycler, exploring the island's 235 kilometers of cycle tracks. Sources describe it as fun, beautiful, healthy, and HYGGE with the family. It really captures that sense of gentle activity, being together.
That sounds incredibly appealing, the way hate is just part of the landscape. Okay, so shifting gears a bit from nature to art. Bornholm has this major reputation as a hub for crafts. It's not just local buzz either. It's officially a world craft city and was the very first world craft region in Europe and the first island. That's huge.
It really is a significant title.
They have these strong traditions, especially in glassblowing, pottery, ceramics. And here's where it gets really interesting. There's this widely held belief that the Bornholm light and atmosphere aren't just inspiring, they actually help the creative process. How did that happen, especially after, as you mentioned, the fishing industry declined? How did it become this craft powerhouse?
Yeah, the backstory is crucial. The fishing industry is everything, but it collapsed pretty badly from the 70s to the 90s. That forced a massive pivot. They had to reinvent themselves. So they turned towards tourism, but also significantly towards fostering loads of small businesses, micro businesses, especially in handicrafts. And it wasn't just dictated from above, it bubbled up. This led to the Arts and Crafts Association Bornholm ACAB being formed in 2002.
Okay, ACAB.
And their role has been vital. They're all about preserving values of professionalism, quality, and rural authenticity, especially as tourism grew, making sure it didn't get watered down.
So quality control, essentially.
Very much so. Getting into ACAB is tough. There's a strict jury process, independent people from the Danish art scene. There's this great story, a really famous glass blower applied, but apparently submitted some horrible work.
Oh, really?
And the jury rejected him. Even though he was well known, the board was hesitant, but the jury insisted. 6 months later, he came back with a fantastic new collection and got in. It just shows how serious they are about the standard.
Wow, they don't mess around.
Not at all. It's seen as a successful mechanism for preserving quality. An artist even said it stops the crafts becoming too much souvenir in a bad way. For the artists who are members, it's like a seal of approval. A stamp for this is the good art. Gives buyers confidence.
That makes sense. But how do they balance that quality with, the reality of tourism, people wanting souvenirs? It brings up that idea of negotiating authenticity. You mentioned the research. Apparently, many artists feel tourists actually want that personal connection, the story behind the piece. Their workshops become these spaces of resistance to chains of mass production.
Exactly. That interaction, learning about the process, the artist, it adds another layer for the tourist, what researchers call existential authenticity. It's not just buying a thing, it's connecting to its story.
Right, the experience around the object.
Precisely. And this leads to artists having these malleable identities, as the research puts it. They adapt. For example, there's Caroline, a ceramist. She makes small things that tourists might buy, but she consciously avoids making, say, little round churches, the typical Bornholm souvenir cliche. She keeps her artistic voice.
Maintaining integrity.
Yeah. Then you have someone like Julie, a glass designer. She's quite business savvy, outsources some production to China, runs 3 shops. But she absolutely sees herself as a successful craft artist. She argues her business success actually gives her more artistic freedom for other projects.
Interesting. So different paths to authenticity.
Very different. It shows authenticity isn't static. It's this ongoing negotiation between tradition, the market, and personal artistic vision. And despite all these individual approaches, that ACAB brand acts as a sort of anchor, upholding a standard of originality for Bornholm crafts overall.
That's a really clever balance they've struck. Okay, let's switch senses now to taste. Bornholm has somehow become this pilgrimage for gourmets, which might surprise some people.
It's relatively recent, but very real.
It got a huge boost internationally, partly because big names like René Redzepi and Klaus Meyer from Noma started featuring Bornholm's ecological ingredients. That really put it on the map for new Nordic cuisine.
That was definitely a catalyst.
And if you go, you have to try the smoked herring, right? It's the iconic dish. They smoke it traditionally over alder wood shavings, like in Gudjim's oldest smokehouse, for 90 minutes till it's golden.
Ah, yes, Rekketsild.
And the way to eat it is sun over Gudjim, Sol over Gudjim. Smoke herring on rye bread, chives, and a raw egg yolk on top. Sounds intense but essential.
It's a must-try. But the food scene goes way beyond herring now. You've got Cadeau, the Michelin-starred place. They also have one in Copenhagen. It's hyper-local. The chef, Nikolai Nørgaard, has his own garden right there. Grows things like hawthorn berries, red currants, edible roses. They even grow figs and mulberries, which is pretty wild for that far north. People travel just for their tasting menus.
Wow, that's commitment to local sourcing.
Definitely. Then there's Hallegård Farm Shop in Østermari, famous for amazing traditional sausages, no additives, award-winning, like over 25 kinds.